Kevin Fiala got it started, and Freddy Gaudreau finished things off as the Minnesota Wild take care of business against the Dallas Stars in overtime. Our postcast recap of the game starts now.
You're Locked On Wild, your daily podcast on the Minnesota Wild. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome, everybody, to our postcast recap of today's Minnesota Wild win over the Dallas Stars 3-2 in overtime. Seth Topal here, host of Locked On Wild, with you. And today's postcast is brought to you by betonline.net. BetOnline.net is your number one source for all of your betting stats and sports info. You can find all of the latest sports developments, league reviews, and news, including this year's NBA playoffs, the start of the Major League Baseball season, and the NHL's push to the playoffs. BetOnline is your continued source for all of your sports wagering information, from live betting to playoffs, esports, and more. So head to their website today or use your mobile device to learn more about the trends and the action. You can find all that and more at BetOnline, where the game starts. Let's recap a exciting overtime win for the Minnesota Wild by a score of 3-2. Wild pick up a huge 2 points on the road against the Dallas Stars. And in looking at what we saw in this game, we got a great performance from Kevin Fiala. Marc-Andre Fleury looked good, and the Wild were able to survive some more penalty kill issues. A hot game from Jason Robertson, and ended up getting the game winner from the also red-hot Freddy Gaudreau. A lot to take from this game, and so we'll start with the things that we liked, which include Kevin Fiala with 2 more goals. Looking at some of the numbers for Fiala, who continues to just have an insane season for the Minnesota Wild, career highs across the board. And, Locked On Wild, amongst many other Minnesota Wild podcasts, has been trumpeting the fact that he needs to be retained by this team past this season because of all the things that he brings to the table. On Twitter today, saw that the early struggles scoring wise for Fiala with 3 goals in 25 games. 3 goals in the first 25 games for Fiala. So if you do the math, he's at 28 right now. That is 25 goals for Kevin Fiala in his last 48 games. So basically, he is over 1 goal every 2 games for this Wild team, and continues to just absolutely provide the Wild with that just scorching second line. So Fiala gets the first goal of the game. He gets a shorthanded goal. Made a comment about this on Locked On Wilds a couple of weeks ago. It doesn't seem like the Wild ever score shorthanded goals. And so they got one tonight, and then the OT winner from Freddy Gaudreau to finish it off. So Fiala continuing to be just a sensational asset for this team, and hopefully the Wild are able to figure out the logistics of keeping him around long term past this season. Marc-Andre Fleury, I thought, had a very good game as well. And you look at it, so gave up 2 goals. The first goal was just an unfortunate rebound for Jason Robertson. You look at what was going on that penalty kill. Dmitry Kulikov had gone behind the net to pursue the puck. It was passed back out in front to Robertson. First shot, no dice. Fleury was able to stonewall it. But then the rebound comes out right in front to Robertson, and Fleury is out of position. So I don't know what you really do about that one, short of Fleury corralling the initial shots and preventing a second opportunity. The second goal by Robertson, again, a situation of a little bit of a deflection and a screen out in front of the net. And then Fleury just kind of lost track of it. It trickled behind him into the net, and he couldn't get to it before it ended up being a goal. But beyond that, I thought Fleury was great. And you look at what this Wild team is going to need to do going on the road into some very tough environments. Now, Dallas, not necessarily a full sellout here tonight, but still a very tough road environment. And Fleury was calm, cool, collected. He made some great saves, got that windmill save going again. And so I thought Fleury was great in this one. And, that's just continues to be a really good goalie combo with him and Cam Talbot for this team. You look at some of the other things that happened for this Wild team. Obviously, as we kind of transition to what didn't go well, uh, Dallas definitely had the momentum late in the game. Second period, they kind of wrestled it away from the Wild, and those final couple of minutes against the Stars, Dallas had full possession, multiple shots on net, and the Wild were not able to possess the puck. They were not able to get the puck out of the zone. So you feel kind of good about the fact that the Wild were able to outlast it and get the game to overtime, but that is something that is going to need to be looked at by this team. And I know you are operating with a third line D pairing of Alex Goligoski and Jordy Ben, which is not super optimal. But you got to do something to try to get the puck out of the zone some way, somehow. You got to just wrestle a puck away from somebody so that the Stars are not dominating possession time like they were down the stretch. Another power play goal against this Wild penalty kill that I think it's well past time for the Wild to make some big changes. And heading into the game tonight, actually did the math. After the first power play goal for the Stars, their lone power play goal, the Minnesota Wild penalty kill was 18 for their last 28, which is 64%. And so you look, they killed off the other two penalties that they took. So 66% once again in this game. 65% probably now over the last 10 games. And I know we have seen the team try to stick to this penalty kill unit. It's just not working. You can't roll into the playoffs with a penalty kill that is at 65% because try as you might, the Wild got through um, the entire first period without a penalty. There was not a penalty until into the second period. And then all of a sudden, penalty on the Wild, power play goal for Dallas. Penalty on the Wild, penalty on the Wild. You have to do something different on this penalty kill to try to jumpstart it because it's not working at a high enough level for what this team hopes to do in the postseason. It's not going to work. So that needs to be fixed. That continues to be a concern, has pretty much all season, and it's not going away. So that is going to need to be resolved by this team. But, to circle back, this is yet again a testament to this Wild team that has been constructed, is that they are able to go into a tough road environment, grab the lead early. They are able to um they're able to overcome a couple of instances in which the Stars tied the game and kind of stole back momentum. And they find a way, despite not for large stretches playing their best hockey, they find a way to win the game as opposed to, simply taking the point in overtime and then losing that way. So it's a testament once again to the resolve that this team has. And so, overall, we are, of course, very happy about the win. But there are some things that are going to need to be fixed heading into the postseason to try to get this team on full operation heading into the postseason. So, all in all, another good win, an exciting win for this Wild team, and you know, like I said, didn't have their best for stretches, but still were able to come away with the win, and so should definitely be happy about that. Heading into the weekends with a game against the St. Louis Blues, an afternoon matinee on Saturday, and then a Sunday tilt against the San Jose Sharks. So a back-to-back over the weekend, which means that we'll see both Cam Talbot and Marc-Andre Fleury. Not sure how the splits will go, um, but we'll see. And it's another day towards hopefully getting a couple of pieces back defensively to try to help that decor unit out as well. But Kevin Fiala helps get things started, and Freddy Gaudreau sends the road fans home happy as Minnesota Wild beat the Stars 3-2 in overtime. And for more on this game and on the Minnesota Wild, make sure that you follow Locked On Wild wherever you listen to podcasts.